Welcome to Lined Musings. Benu kindly sent me another pen to review, and this time round it is the Pixie pen. This is one of the newest ones to their collection, and I got to choose the colour as well. And as per usual, I played it safe and went for the most neutral colourway, which is Honey Bronze. And so here we just have the warranty card. I'll just pop that to the side. And this is the Benu Pixie pen. It is super cute, super small. It reminds me of a little lipstick. We have this clear honey orangey yellow colour at the top, and then we've got some gold glitter bits, and then it tapers down into a sparkly shimmery brown. And there is the Benu logo there as well in a silvery colour. It feels really small. I'm wondering if it's one of the smallest pens I now have in my collection. It'll be interesting to see how it compares with my other pocket pens, which I will do in this video today. They also recently released a set of 3 of these Pixie pens, and it's actually a really affordable price for 3 fountain pens. So take a look at that if you're interested. There's like 3 different colorways, but there is one that I really like, and it's similar to this pen. So it's called Metallic Dust, I think. I'm just thinking about how I can count the number of twists for this pen lid to come off. I'm gonna mark it with one of my little weak strip stickers, just so that I can count this accurately. Come to think of it, I can probably just count it from the twist of the Benu logo, but we're here now, so I'm going to twist from the bottom. It's 1 and 2 and 3. So pretty much 3 full twists or turns of the lid will open up this pen, which I think is quite a lot for a pocket pen, but that is fine. Now let's have a look, see what it looks like posted and how it sits in my hand, because you definitely wouldn't be able to write with it unposted. It fits fine. I would say it is quite light though, and this is what it looks like unposted. I would say it's not really possible to write with it at this length. It's kind of impractical, but that is their intention. I'm pretty sure they're wanting us to use it posted. The big chunky lid ends up adding a little bit more weight to the pen and makes it a little bit more comfortable to write with. Just opening this up to see if it comes with a converter or a cartridge. Yeah, it comes with a universal sized cartridge, and I have a few of these, including empty ones, so I can just use one of those for the little demo later. So I won't need that today, and I'll just grab one of the empty cartridges from my stash. And while we're here, I may as well show you the Schmidt nib that we have on this pen. Now it is gold coloured, but this is a steel nib pen, and it is slightly smaller than the Talisman Schmidt nib, which is a size 6, and this one is a size 5. I'll just bring you a little closer so you can see the detailing on the nib, which is quite lovely. How beautiful is the shimmer in the brown part of the pen. It just glistens in the sun. So pretty. I believe there is a version that is just this brown colour, so the lid is also the same as the brown body. What I'll do now is just show you the difference between a size 6 Schmidt nib. Size 6 Schmidt nib, that's really hard to say. But yeah, the Talisman is a size 6, which is a lot larger than the size 5 that we have here in the Pixie design. So that is my Benu Talisman Edelweiss pen. I'll pop the unboxing video here for you. And while we're on the topic of nibs, I'll just compare the nib size with my other pens. This one here is a Pro Gear Slim by Sailor, I'd say it is around the same width, if anything thinner, but it is also longer, or should I say taller. I'm not sure what the terminology is, but you get what I'm trying to say. Overall, I do think that that nib size is the perfect size for this pen. Because it is so small, I would thought that the nib would be teeny tiny, but no, it's a good size. And here we have my pocket pens, the Kaweco Olivine, my Conklin Minigraph, then we have the Traveller's Company brass pen, and of course the TWSBI Diamond Mini. I'll just reorder these so they're from the tallest to the shortest, and then we'll figure out where the Pixie belongs. I'll just try to line them up at the bottom here so that we have a good comparison with the pens and their lids on. And here, let's pop the Benu Pixie in here and compare that length. It is teeny tiny. I've always thought the Minigraph would be the smallest pen I'd ever own, but the Benu is smaller. Obviously it is a little bit more chunky, but I quite like writing with chunky pens. It's kind of like the fountain pen version of the Uniball 1 pen. Now let's compare it with the Kaweco Olivine pen, which would be similar to the other Kaweco aluminium pens. It is about 1, almost 2 centimeters taller. I won't compare it to the others because I think you can see the difference in height there. But now let's post these pens so we can get a good comparison point of the length when these pens are posted. And this really can make a huge difference, so I always recommend, if you do get a pen, even if it's a regular size pen, to try it out when it is posted and see what suits you best. I do love this Traveller's Company fountain pen. I need to use it more. I always forget it exists. A majority of my pocket pens sit in a different area to my regular fountain pens, only because of space. Ideally I'd have them all together, but yeah, it means out of sight, out of mind. A lot of the time I forget they exist, and they don't get as much use, so I've really got to figure out how to change that situation. Okay, so for what I'm seeing with these pocket pens is that the Traveller's Company notebook pen does have a lot more length when you post it. Let's do the Benu Pixie and see if it makes a significant change. It does, but it is also still the smallest pocket pen of the lot. I hope that was helpful. I think in my other videos where I've done this comparison, you guys have appreciated it. And now we will move on to the next section of this video, which is the pen test and demo. Okay, now what I have here is an empty little cartridge, and I'm going to fill that in with one of my inks. I knew having these empty cartridges lying around would be handy one day, and today is that day. Just flipping to my ink swatch pages to find a brown or a mustardy yellow that will suit this pen. So I've got these 5 inks down here, and I am thinking that this one will be a really good option, a good match with the honey lid. Neptune's Necklace is also a good option, but I am leaning towards Three Kings by Diamine. Let's have a look at the browns that we have here. This Toffee by Robert Oster is a nice, lovely brown. And this one here is kind of too light, especially for a little pen test. I'm gonna go with Three Kings, I think. I'll be right back. Okay, here it is, the Three Kings Diamine ink I got from, I think it was the 2023 ink vent calendar. It's when I first got into fountain pens, and yeah, I still have a lot of those, and a lot of them have not been used in a pen. Anyway, today we are going to rectify that by using the Three Kings ink in my Benu Pixie Honey Bronze pen. Alright, let's start testing out this pen. I am so excited to try out a medium sized nib by Benu. Just checking that this is all dry. I did just prep this page right before this video, so okay. And before you want to comment on my death grip here and my quadrupod grip, please know that I am aware it is weird, especially for a fountain pen user, but again, I don't have any intention to change it, so please keep your mean comments to yourself if you have any. Okay, so far I am loving this pen and ink combo. I think Three Kings was a perfect match, and I'm glad I landed on this ink. So far the pen is feeling really smooth, and this ink isn't too wet and it's also not too dry. I will say, similar to the Edelweiss Talisman pen, it doesn't have feedback, so it's similar to the Kaweco. Yeah, I would say a really good comparison point would be the Kaweco medium nib. It writes very similarly. I do really enjoy the feedback of a Sailor nib though, so I always feel like that's what I'm missing from a steel nib pen. So if you're not a fan of the feedback, you will love this pen. Not to say that I don't, it's just that I do like to use a pen that does have feedback. If you are after a steel nib pen that does feel a little bit more luxe, I would say the Esterbrook pens come really close to what a gold nib would feel like. Just trying out this pen without it being posted, and it is exactly how you think it would feel. It doesn't feel really stable in the hand. I feel like I'm having to grip onto it a lot harder as well. So yeah, it's not likely I'll ever use this pen without it being posted, which is what I had predicted earlier. It is a very light pen, but it makes up for it by being relatively chunky. Okay, I just grabbed my MAC lipstick because I can't get over how much this looks like a little lipstick. See what I mean? It would fit perfectly in my little makeup bag. Okay, I got sidetracked, so let's test out the medium nib for the Benu Pixie with a medium Sailor nib. And I am pretty sure this Sailor Pro Gear Slim is inked up with Diamine Autumn Oak. And as one would expect, the Sailor Pro Gear Slim is a lot thinner for a medium nib, and that is generally what you would expect to see from a Japanese nib when comparing it against a Western nib. So what we'll test now is a Western medium nib. This one here is my Kaweco. I'm pretty sure it's a medium nib. Maybe it isn't. I might have swapped this one out, but if it's not a medium, then it is a fine nib, which is still a good comparison. I'd say that the Kaweco fine is equivalent to a Sailor medium fine. That's it, Sailor pens aren't that consistent, I think, from my experience anyway. Let's try this Kaweco student pen. I do have a medium nib on this one. Just need to find an ink to dip it in so that we can do this test. Actually, I'll just use this 3 Kings ink, and that way we have a like for like comparison. So yeah, as you can see, it's very similar in width. So if you already have a Kaweco medium or you've tried one of these out, that is what you can use as a guide in terms of the width of a Benu Pixie in medium. And that brings us to the end of the video. Thank you, Benu, again for giving me the opportunity to unbox this pen and share my feedback and gifting me with this pen as well. If you liked this video, please give it a thumbs up, it really helps out my channel. And if you're not already subscribed, please hit the subscribe button if you'd like to see more of this kind of content. And hopefully I will see you in the next one. Bye!